The secret to getting rid of age-related stiffness is not stretching out your entire body. It's literally just stretching out one joint 60 seconds. That's it. 7 days, 7 joints, 7 minutes in the entire week, and we hit the whole kit and caboodle just taking 1 minute a day and hitting one joint. You've been told your whole life to stretch everything. Hold it for 30 seconds and do it every single day. And then you don't do it, ever, because it's 40 minutes you don't have, or at least you think you don't have. That's why I made this 1 minute a day blueprint, because if I tell you it's gonna take 40 minutes, we're both gonna pretend that this conversation never happened. And I saved the best for day 7. It's a movement researchers have used to assess something incredibly important, whether people can maintain independence as they age. And honestly, most people wouldn't pass it today and pass it next week from following the blueprint. So give me 7 days before you start writing your farewell letter to your mobility. Day 1 is hips, and we're starting here for a reason. After 40, your hips start losing rotation and your lower back takes over. Then it gets promoted to a job it never applied for. So that back pain, maybe stop blaming the mattress. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and start with that 90-90 switch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start seated on the floor. From here, we're gonna shift to one side and making sure that our front leg is at 90 degrees and our back leg is at 90 degrees as well. We're gonna keep our chest as upright as we can, and then from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the heels where they are, not use any hands, and switch to the opposite side. So from here, no hands. Up here, chest is up as upright as we can, and then rotate back. We're gonna do this for a minute, and that's your day 1. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Day 2 is upper back. Your mid back is supposed to rotate and extend, and 20 years of sitting teaches it one thing: become a chair. And then your shoulders and neck pick up the slack and then send you a bill. Okay, so day 2, you just got a library card and you're about to open a book. Good news is you don't need to know how to read. You're just opening the book. But anyway, we're gonna be laying on our side here. And then from here, we're gonna have our knees together, and then we're also gonna have our palms together as well. From here, we wanna make sure that we're gonna rotate open as much as we can, having our hand open up and try to reach behind us, following with our eyes. We want to do our best to make sure that we're just rotating up top and our knees are staying together, and we're rotating as much as we can until our hand hits the floor, and then we're going to come back to starting position. We're actually going to go ahead and we're going to do each side for 30 seconds, and that's day 2. And day 3 is ankles. And I know nobody gets excited for ankle day, but here's the stat that changed how I coach this. Your knee going down the stairs absorbs a load several times your body weight. And if your ankle can't bend forward properly, the knee absorbs more of it. So people come to me about their knees, and the real villain is actually closer to the floor. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna stand up against the wall. So let's pretend for a moment that this post here is a wall, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna have our foot a hand width away from the wall. So we're gonna make sure that it is just a hand width away, and all we're doing is we're actually gonna try to get our knee to touch the wall without our heel lifting up off the ground. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shift, have our knee touch the wall, and then come back. So again, do your best to try to shift that knee forward without actually having this heel lift up on this side here. So as we're doing the movement, we're actually just working on our dorsiflexion as well, and this should help our ankle mobility. And again, you're gonna be doing this for 60 seconds, and that's 30 seconds on each side, and that's your day 3. And day 4 is shoulders, because overhead reach doesn't disappear overnight. It happens so slowly, you don't even notice. And then one day, you just stop using the top shelf. Then you start buying cereal from the middle shelf. And eventually, the top shelf becomes someone else's problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up against the wall. From here, we're just gonna have our feet just a foot away from the wall and then our hips and our shoulders up against there. So the key with this is trying not to arc too much through our lumbar as we're doing the movement, as well as keeping the elbows up against the wall. So again, if the wrists are kind of floating off, that's a-okay, but do your best to try to get them up against the wall. So what we're gonna do again, we're gonna have our elbows up against the wall, shoulders, hips. Now we're gonna externally rotate, trying to get the wrists and the hands up against the wall. Again, do your best to try not to arc at the lumbar, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep the elbows on and press straight up. So as we're doing our movement, keep the elbows up against the wall. And good news is there's nothing quite flattering about doing a wall slide on the wall, but that's a-okay. Just go ahead and do this for 60 seconds anyway, and then that is your day 4. And day 5 is hamstrings. And here's where I disagree with basically every stretching video on the internet. Your hamstrings aren't necessarily tight, they're nervous. And your brain sees that range and it hits the brakes. So yanking on your hamstring harder isn't the answer. You don't bully the hamstrings. You convince them they're safe. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand hip width apart. From here, we're gonna take our hands, we're gonna place them onto our thighs. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna push our hips back and our bum back, thinking that we're closing a car door with our bum. Notice that as I'm doing that, I'm not rounding through my lumbar or anything like that. I'm keeping everything nice and neutral. Then once we get to a point where it doesn't feel like we can push the bum back anymore, we're gonna bend the knees slightly and then push the bum back slightly, and then we're gonna come back to starting position, squeezing the butt. Remember, we don't wanna go to an extreme range of motion where we're pushing the butt so far back that we're getting sharp pain. If we do end up doing that, make sure we reduce that by a couple inches, okay? But all in all, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this for 60 seconds, and that is your day 5. Day 6 is for glutes, and they're the biggest muscles you own, and somehow the easiest to switch off. You sit on them for 8 hours a day, and they basically quit without giving 2 weeks notice. Your hamstrings and lower back cover their shifts, but at the end of the day, they're terrible employees. So what we're gonna do next is something called the glute bridge, or as one of my clients likes to call it, sabato sera. And I think that means seize the day in Italian. But anyway, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna lay on our back, and we're gonna have our feet planted up on the floor. From here, we're gonna make sure we're driving with our heels, and the entire time as we're lifting the hips, we're not letting the knees cave in. So what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna drive with the heels, lift up the hips. We should feel a really good contraction from the glutes or the badonkadonk. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this for 60 seconds. Now, if we feel the hamstrings cramping, chances are the glutes are still asleep. So what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna bring your heels closer to your bum and squeeze your glutes like you're making diamonds before or between your cheeks before you start to lift up, and you're gonna do the same movement. We should be getting a really good contraction through the glutes. And again, 60 seconds, and this is your day 6. And before we go over the next movement, I want to know if this format actually works for you. 1 exercise a day, 1 joint, the full week mapped out in 1 video. If you want me to keep making a new mobility split every week, just comment, keep going, and I'll build week 2. Or if you'd rather go back to full routines in 1 sitting, say that too. I'm curious to know what format works best for you. So time for day 7, the final boss. So researchers followed adults from 51 to 80 and gave them a ridiculously simple test. Get on the floor, then get back up. It wasn't a bench press, it wasn't a mile run, it was just gravity. And how much help they needed turned out to be a powerful predictor on how they were doing years later. That's not a fitness test, that's a can I still get up off the floor test. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and do a deep squat hold. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stand close to a post or something that we can use for support to hold us into position. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open up, sitting into it, not letting the knees cave, making sure big toes are grounded on the floor, and we're gonna sit deep. We're gonna sit as deep as we can into this. And as we're sitting deep into this, we're keeping that chest up so we're not rounding at the lumbar. Make sure that the heels are still on the ground. And while we're here, we're gonna actively drive the knees open and think we're bringing the hips closer to the post without actually lifting the heels. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hold this for 60 seconds, and that is your day 7. And this is why this one goes last. Every single day this week fed into this one. Hips gave you depth, ankles gave you the heels, upper back gave you a tall chest, and glutes give you the way back up. Do the 6, and day 7 stops being a test and starts being a result. You don't need to do everything every day. One joint done properly beats a full body routine that you skip. 60 seconds is not a compromise, it's the reason you'll actually do it. And remember, a perfect plan that you abandon after a few days does no good for no one. And if you have more than 60 seconds and want to know the best morning routine for your mobility, check out this video.